Okay, sit yourself onto your left and come into a good cross-legged position. And just have a little wriggle about, just make sure that you're feeling even at the seat bones. Hold onto your knees and lift up into the chest. So we've had a little break from yoga. We've had Easter, so it's been quite a few days since we've last practiced. So this first practice just opens up the body again. So just lift the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, draw in your shoulders down away from your ears, just observing how you make space for your energy. Take deep inhalations and exhalations, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top, emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Just observing that feeling of inflation and deflation. Just spending a little time just observing the breath. Bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together. Lengthen from your armpits into your elbows. So lengthen the armpit forward into the elbows so that the hands hover away from the chest and not clamped into the chest, because we want space in the chest for it to expand. So just find that space in the armpit chest. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Just shutting out the visual stimulus and just observing on the feeling of the pose and the sounds of the pose. So focus on the sound of the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area, and then Release your hands and then bring the backs of the hands down onto your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence, and of peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. And with an exhalation, raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Just hold onto your knees again, lift up into your chest. Again, elevate the chest, broaden the chest, take deep inhalations into the chest. And with an exhalation, turn to the left, drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, take a deep inhalation. And then turn to the left. Digging the back hand into the floor or into the blocks, into the cushion that you're sitting on. Just to keep the spine lifted and long, observing the breath. And then come back to the center. So come off your lift and come down onto your knees. Have your feet, your big toes together, your knees apart. Just wriggle into the inner heels. So you bring the outer buttock into the inner heels so that the little toe side of the foot makes good contact with the floor. Press the shins consciously into the floor. Press the shin bone into the shin skin so that the thighs activate. From there, lift up into the heart area, elevating the heart area to the ceiling. Keep the head lifted as you come forwards, hinging at the hips, keeping the chest extending forward. Spread the fingers, spread the palms, and then bring the head down to the floor. Draw the tailbone down towards the heels so that you really root the forward extension. Lengthen from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, the wrists, the palms, the fingertips, the fingernails. Just feel the freedom of extension. So just with simple extension, we open up the energy of the body. We open up the energy of the mind. Come up onto your knees. Turn. I think my cats have been sitting on here. Turn your toes under and then come up into dog down. If you're not doing dog down, do either dandasana or supta baddha, either the same pose but sitting down, your legs on the floor, or you can do supta baddha laying on the floor with your knees together, your feet apart. So just feel how you open up the energy of the legs, pushing the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs. Regardless of the pose you're in, activate the legs. Press the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Tighten the kneecaps. Push the fronts of the shins through to the backs of the shins. Press the palms into the floor. Lengthen from the palms into the wrists, into the armpits, into the hips. And then step your feet forward, come up into standing position. Get a couple of blocks for your hands. And then have your feet as wide apart as the mat. And have your hands on your hips, lift up into your chest, turning the fronts of the legs inwards. So that the backs of the legs broaden outwards. Wing your elbows towards each other, keep the head lifted, hinge at the hips, and then reach down beyond fingertips. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Turning the fronts of the legs inwards. Pushing the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs. Extending into the spine. Just feel, we've had a few days off, haven't we? So feel the legs come to life through the action of the pose. So activate the legs. If you can go down lower, then do. But be mindful of your back. Be mindful of overextension. Be mindful of underextension. Sometimes when people go down, they lose the extension altogether. So you have to reactivate body with the extension. Fill the body with energy by filling the lungs with air. Using your out breath to distribute the energy of the breath into the limbs. If you can go to the floor, then do, but again without losing the extension of the pose. And then when you're ready, bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into standing position. Come into Tadasana, spreading the palms, spreading the fingers, lengthening from the shoulders into the backs of the hands, into the fingertips. Tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, broadening the backs of the thighs outwards, tuck the tailbone in. Fill in the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Fill in your lungs from the bottom to the top. And emptying them from the top to the bottom. Bring your arms out nice and wide, spreading the fingers, spreading the palms, bring the hands in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. So at least as wide apart as your hands. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. Bring the chest back to face the front. Just feel that your feet are in the right place. So that the instep, the heel of this front leg that you've turned outwards, the heel is in line with the instep of the back foot. Just have a quick look, make sure that's the case, adjust it if necessary. You don't want heel on heel. Reach down, find the shin and look up. So of course you can always move this front foot forwards a little bit more if you've got stiff hips. So it's more like heel on toe of that back leg, or you can even go beyond the foot if you've got stiff hips. Just feel the stretch. So it's always interesting to come back after a few days off, isn't it? Because I haven't done any yoga since last week either, so I can really feel the stretch. Quite like it. But you've got to work with consciousness. You've got to work to make sure that you don't overdo it. You just listen to where there is resistance and respect it. Try and breathe energy into those areas. Okay, come back to the center, spread the fingers, spread the palms, turn the right toes in and the left leg and foot all the way out. Again, just being mindful of that foot position. Just have a quick look, just adjust it if need be. Activate your legs and then come back down into trikonasana on the other side, looking up if you can, but you can look down or forwards if there are problems with the neck. Just feel how the body responds to the pose. Feel how the body is responding to the pose today. So it brings a nowness into our practice, which is a really beneficial facet of our practice. It brings our attention into the present moment. Because you're feeling this pose now, you're feeling your body respond to the pose now. Maybe the body's response changes after staying for a little while. Just respond to that. If it's getting worse, if it's getting more difficult, then adjust or come out of the pose if need be. Just observe it. Okay, coming back to the center, bring feet parallel, and then step or jump the feet back together. Just come back into Tadasana. Just observe how the body feels. Observe how the body feels after being in the pose. Listen to the breath. Does the breath feel different? Turn the palms all the way out so that you rotate the upper arms in the shoulder socket. Take deep inhalations, deep exhalations, listening to the breath. And then raise your arms forwards, and then raise your arms up for advisable. I just need to turn sideways a little bit so I can reach up. So I'm going out to ceiling height. Just try and ensure that the body is in a straight line from the feet up into the legs, into the hips, into the spine, into the shoulders, into the arms. And then very gently release. And then just come back into Tadasana. So just observe the energy in the skin. Observe how you have woken up the body a little. Spread the toes on the left foot. If you can lift your shorts up a little bit, it just helps to kind of, we're going to bring our foot up here, we're going to, for vrksasana, it just helps for the leg to kind of make contact. So you might want something to help you to balance. Keep that standing leg really straight in Tadasana, and then bring the right foot up into the thigh. Push the foot into the thigh into the foot. Turn the front of the leg inwards. Stretch your arms down to the floor and lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area up towards the ceiling. And then raise your arms over your head. Ideally, have the arms parallel in advisable, palms facing each other. I run out of ceiling height, so I have to vary that slightly. But ideally, arms shoulder width apart. Lengthen from the hips up into the armpits, into the elbows, into the wrists. Breathe evenly in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. And then release your arms, release the legs, and then just swap your shorts, lift up the right leg. Again, come into Tadasana, spreading the toes, spreading the underside of the foot, tighten the kneecap, and then bring the standing leg up into Tadasana. I think my video is frozen for a moment, but I think you can hear me. So bring that standing leg up, sorry, the bent leg up, and then lift up into the chest. And then just stabilize yourself on the legs, and then raise your arms up, raise your arms to the ceiling. So my video has frozen, I think you can hear me, so just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. So just use whatever you need to help stabilize yourself. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Reach in from the feet, into the hips, into the chest, into the arms, into the fingers. Okay, and then release your arms, release the leg, and then come back into Tadasana. Just be in Tadasana. Let me see if I can do something with my video. It looks like it's frozen, isn't it? Not sure what's going on. Just bear with me. Listen to the breath. Just be in Tadasana. Be in Tadasana, activating the legs, turning the kneecaps inwards, activating the thighs. There you go, go back. Activating the thighs and turning the legs inwards, tucking the tailbone in, reaching up and into the chest. Breathing even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Just have a couple of blocks in front of you where you can reach them. You might need, oh, video stopped again. Maybe it'll come back in a moment. And stand on the back edge of your mat. What's going on with my video? Let me just reset it again. Just stand on the back edge of the mat for prasarita, padottanasana. So be in Tadasana, big toes together, heels together, just standing on the back edge of your mat. The other way in, so so stand on the back edge of your mat and then jump your feet wide. and line your heels up with the edge of your mat so that it just helps you to line up your legs. Turn the toes in and tighten the kneecaps. Turn the toes in, tighten in the kneecaps, have your hands on your hips. Lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. Wing the elbows back, and then with firmly activated legs, come forwards, hinging at the hips, and then reach down. If you can't reach down, then use the blocks underneath your hands, but be on fingertips rather than heels of hands. Be on fingertips. Tighten the kneecaps, press the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lift the seat bones up to the ceiling. Project the chin and the chest forwards. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Focusing on inhalations and exhalations. Pressing the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards. So if you can go further by lengthening the chest, keeping the head lifted initially, bringing the heels of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. If your head doesn't reach the floor, then put a block underneath it, or just stay at that first stage, keeping the head lifted. Just keeping the head lifted, extending the chin and the chest forward, which is the same action regardless of whether you go down or you stay at the first stage. You keep the chest lifted, you keep the head lifted. Try and keep the weight light on your hands. Be on fingertips. Take some deep inhalations and exhalations, and then bring the heels of the hands down. Just step or jump the feet back together, and then come back up into Tadasana, and then raise your arms up. Raise your arms up, spread the fingers, spread the palms. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. So observe how you have opened up the energy of the breath. And then release your arms. And then come down onto your back and into supta padottanasana. So soles of the feet together, knees apart. Rest your hands on your lower ribs. Allow the body to release down into the floor. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Stretch your arms up to the ceiling, spread the fingers, spread the palms, hook the thumbs together, and then lengthen your arms along the floor. If there's stiffness in your hips, you can put blocks underneath the thighs. If there's stiffness in your shoulders, you can put a folded blanket or some blocks underneath the hands, just to support the shoulders. So you're hooking the thumbs together, spreading the fingers apart. Listen to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And then release your arms, and then release the hands onto the lower ribs. And just go back to focusing on the breath, feeling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. Just feeling the abdomen rise and fall with the breath. So the abdomen accommodates the kind of relaxation and lowering of the diaphragm as you inhale. Pushing the abdomen outwards, and then the abdomen draws in naturally to support the lifting of the diaphragm with the out breath. So the abdomen is an important mechanism of the breath. So although the breath doesn't physically go much beyond the lining of the lungs, the oxygen does, but the air itself doesn't. It can feel as though you breathe into the abdomen. So feel that you can breathe into the abdomen. As the abdomen rises to accommodate the in-breath. Feel as though you're filling the abdomen with air. So that somatic breath, breathing into the abdominal region, it helps to bring focus and energy into the breath. Focus and energy into the body, into the breath. Just allowing the body to observe the energy of the body. So the somatic breath, breathing the in-breath in through the nose and all the way down into the abdomen, into the navel region, into the belly button. It just makes you very conscious and aware of your energy. Just raise your arms again, hook your thumbs, but hook the thumbs the other way this time, and then lengthen your arms again along the floor. Just continuing to focus on that somatic breath. Filling the abdomen with air. Observing the abdomen's roll in the exhalation. So without holding the breath, just observe the inhalation and the exhalation. Okay, and then release your arms. Just draw your knees together, have your knees together and the feet apart for a moment, just resting out the hips. And then draw your knees in towards your chest, just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then roll over onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then just stretch out the top leg, come back up into seated position. Just hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area to the ceiling. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Elevate up into the heart area. And then just get a couple of blocks for the sides of your hips for sukhasana. Just reach underneath the right knee, bring the right elbow down onto the block. Have the elbow directly underneath the shoulder. Just bring your left hand onto the hip and turn the chest up to face the ceiling. Now at first this feels like you're kind of rolling principally onto that right hip, doesn't it? And the left hip just becomes light. But we want to make that left hip as firm and as even as the right hip. So push the right elbow really consciously into the floor and then lengthen from the elbow across into that left hip. Push that elbow really consciously into the floor and then turn the chest up to the ceiling. Really work to lengthen that left seat bone down into the floor. Reach up and over. Turning the chest, just opening up the side ribs. Keep that lifted arm straight if you can. And extend that arm over. Look underneath the armpit or wherever it is comfortable for you to place your neck. Keep that left seat bone stamping down. Pushing the right elbow into the floor, lengthening the left seat bone away from that right elbow. Just feel that openness of the left side of the body. And then come back to the center. So that is a really good stretch along that left side of the body, isn't it? Just hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, just observe your energy. And then just get hold of the underside of the left knee. Just make sure that that left elbow is directly underneath the shoulder for stability. Hold onto that left knee and then turn the chest. Push the elbow, that left elbow, into the floor so you can lengthen down and lengthen across from that left elbow. Turn the chest, try and bring that right hip down onto the floor and then reach up and over, working to really stamp that right seat bone down into the floor so that you can really feel the extension across that right side of the chest. The abdominal walls stretching out. So make those seat bones even. You have to really rely on that left elbow to do that. Push that right seat bone away from the left elbow. And then gently come back to the center, hold onto your knees. And again, lift up into the chest. Just feel the energy just of the breath filling the lungs, inflating the lungs. At the same time, try and breathe into the abdomen. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. Digging the backhand into the floor, drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders, keeping the head and the neck just really still. soft in the neck, but turn the shoulders and the ribs and the abdomen to the right side. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees, take a deep inhalation, and then turn to the left. Drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders, feeling that the seat bones are even. You're not just letting all of your weight go over to that left seat bone. You're just placing the torso between the two hips, turning the abdomen and the ribs and the shoulders. And then gently come back to the center. Just come down onto your back. And we're just going to go into viparita karanhi. So just hold onto the edges of the mat, turn the tailbone in, draw the knees in towards the chest. So don't stay in this for too long, Andrew. Or you can do supta konasana instead of inverting the body. So maybe you shouldn't invert. So you can go into supta konasana if you prefer. Otherwise, raise the legs up to the ceiling. Raise the legs to the ceiling, lifting up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So it's just a gentle inversion. So if there's any reason why you shouldn't invert the body, don't stay too long if you're doing this. Go into supta konasana if you need to. Otherwise, just lengthening the legs, stretching the legs from the hips into the heels. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Just breathing into the abdomen if you can. Okay, and then bend your knees, bring your feet back onto the floor. And then just sit yourself up for a moment. Just get a blanket for your head. Just make sure that the blanket is evenly folded. So a blanket for underneath your head. And then make sure you're in a really good straight line right down the center of your mat. Using the blanket to support your head. And then just allow the body to relax. Bring the tip of the thumb in contact with the tip of the index finger. And just allow the body to relax. Relax into the floor. Let the muscles of the arms and the legs relax. So just let go of the index finger if need be. Just let the arms and the legs completely relax by unhooking the muscles of the arms and the legs. Let the body become momentarily heavy. And out of that heaviness, perhaps you observe a sensation of energetic lightness. Observe that sensation of energetic lightness radiating from the bones and into the muscles. From the bones into the muscles, into the organs and the skin and the flesh. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, just bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then draw your knees in toward your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then just roll onto your right side. Just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just a final cross legs with your hands in the masti, just a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice. That feeling of internal lightness that spreads into the limbs. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Just bring the tip of the index finger into contact with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom and of intelligence and peacefulness that you can carry through into your practice. And then gently raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy and just given yourself some good positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.